Campaigning in West Bengal ended at 10 p.m. yesterday, 20 hours before the scheduled time as per orders of the Election Commission. The Election Commission had on Wednesday cut short the campaigning time in the state following violence between the BJP and Trinamool supporters in Kolkata during Amit Shah's roadshow. The Election Commission in its order had also ordered the removal of Principal Secretary Home and Additional Director General CID from their postings in West Bengal. Meanwhile, the poll body has deployed a total of 710 companies of the Central Forces to cover almost all the polling booths of the 9 seats to ensure free and fair voting on Sunday. Remember, 9 seats will go to polls in the final phase on Sunday, and these include Dum, Diamond Harbour, Jadavpur and 2 seats in Kolkata. And on the last day of campaigning in the state, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed rallies in poll-bound Mathurapur and Dum. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also addressed the public in several roadshows and public meetings. All right, our colleague Anu Diwan is now joining us live from Kolkata. Very good morning, Anu. Speaking about, of course, it is the election season. West Bengal is in the news for all the wrong reasons. There is violence and more violence. Phase after phase, rally after rally and week after week. And yesterday campaigning came to an end at 10 p.m. Of course, after the Election Commission's orders. What is the mood and of the electorate there in Kolkata ahead of the final phase of elections?
Very good morning, Aishwarya. As per the Election Commission decision, the campaigning in West Bengal ended at 10 p.m. yesterday. But after the campaigning also, we have seen that the incidents of violence were there as BJP's Mukul Roy and Shamik Bhattacharya car was vandalized in the Dum constituency. Yesterday only, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed 2 rallies in one Mathurapur and later in the evening in Dum. But soon after that, after a few hours of that, we have seen the visuals of incidents of attacking cars of BJP leaders. All the BJP leaders were not present in that, so there were no harm to any people there. But these incidents are still going around in Calcutta, in whole of the West Bengal, in all the 9 parliamentary constituencies. But now the Election Commission has tightened the security, is going to deploy 711 companies of Central Forces in the whole of West Bengal, seeing the security and increasing number of incidents of violence during the polling day also. So Election Commission is trying hard so that no such incidents happen more, and the free and fair process of election should go on this for the 7th phase. Although in all 6 phases we have seen that the incidents are increasing day by day. Even after the polling day also we have seen during the rallies, during the Jan Sabhas, public meetings, road show, these incidents were there. But now the candidates will be, after the Election Commission decisions, candidates will be going for door-to-door campaigning to the people, will be approaching people via door-to-door. But no such roadshow or public meeting will be seen there, because Election Commission has ordered that West Bengal will not be going for any such these type of hardcore campaigning from today onwards till the date of the polling. Now, if we talk about the issues, the people are more concerned. Seeing these Lok Sabha election in West Bengal, people are merely talking about, more concerned about the security, even the national security as well as their security, because these violence between the TMC and BJP workers have created a situation of fears among them, and they are now talking about these issues, that how will the security of people of West
security
Bengal
has become a key issue for the people of West Bengal, and the Election Commission has made foolproof measures. It has deployed 710 companies of the Central Forces ahead of the final phase of the elections in Kolkata and in entire West Bengal. Thank you so much, Anu, for all those updates there. Meanwhile, campaigning for Lok Sabha polls in 7 states will conclude at 5 p.m. today. In the 7th and the final phase, 59 seats in 8 states will vote on Sunday. Now, these include 13 seats each in Uttar Pradesh and Punjab, 9 seats in West Bengal, 8 seats each in Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. And also voting in this phase are the states of Himachal Pradesh, where voting will take place on all the 4 Lok Sabha seats, 3 seats in Jharkhand and 1 seat in Chandigarh. Now, key candidates, if you talk about in this particular phase, of course, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is seeking a re-election from Varanasi Lok Sabha seat. Besides him, several union ministers are also in the fray, including Manoj Sinha from Ghazipur, Anupriya Patel from Mirzapur, Ravi Shankar Prasad from Patna Sahib, Ram Kripal Yadav from Patliputra, R.K. Singh from Ara, Hardeep Singh Puri from Amritsar, Harsimrat Kaur Badal from Bhatinda, and Ashwini Kumar Chaube from Buxar. And other prominent faces in this phase are Shatrughan Sinha from Patna Sahib, who is contesting on a Congress ticket this time, former Union Minister Supendra Kushwaha, former Lok Sabha Speaker Meera Kumar, Lalu Prasad's daughter Meesa Bharti, and actor Sunny Deol. And speaking about the last day of campaigning today, of course, for the last and the final phase, Prime Minister Modi today will address an election rally in Madhya Pradesh's Khargone. Remember, 8 seats in Madhya Pradesh will go to polls in the final phase on 19th of May. Indeed, all political parties are going all out on the last day of campaigning today. Congress President Rahul Gandhi will address a poll rally in Solan in Himachal Pradesh. All the 4 seats in Himachal Pradesh will vote in the 7th phase on 19th of May. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi will address rallies in Mirzapur and Kushinagar today. 13 seats in Uttar Pradesh will go to polls in the 7th phase. And BSP Chief Mayawati will address a public meeting in Uttar Pradesh's Mirzapur today. And JDU and RJD will also step up campaigning on the last day of campaigning today. All right, our reporters are joining us from the ground to get us all the updates from there. Kriti Mishra is joining us from Varanasi. We have with us our colleague Ravindra Singh Shoran, who is joining us from Anandpur Sahib, and Akhilesh Suman is joining us from Patna Sahib. First, coming to you, Kriti, of course, many believe that BJP's win in Varanasi is, of course, a foregone result, but that has not stopped high-pitch campaigning here. We saw Priyanka Gandhi Vadra holding a roadshow on Wednesday evening, of course, which had a similar route to the Prime Minister's show last month. What more can you tell us about the campaigning and the election mood there?
Campaign for the 2019 Lok Sabha polls, which read its crescendo today before the campaigning ends at 5 in the evening today. So all political parties will pull out all stops to ensure maximum gains. In fact, there are several high-profile contests for the BJP, particularly in this phase in Uttar Pradesh. Of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is seeking second term from Varanasi. There are several union ministers whose fate would be decided. For instance, from Ghazipur, Manoj Sinha, Anupriya Patel from Mirzapur, and also BJP UP President Mahendra Nath Pandey is electoral fray from Chandauli in this particular phase. Remember, in the 2014, the BJP had swept this region, winning all 13 seats. So this time also, the stakes are very high for the BJP. And in fact, in Varanasi, Cabinet Ministers Piyush Goyal and also JP Nadda are organizing several meetings to ensure that Prime Minister Narendra Modi registers a colossal victory margin in Varanasi. And as you said, that political pundits are saying that it's going to be a cakewalk, or his victory from Varanasi is a foregone conclusion. But remember, the opposition parties are also not crumbling under the pressure. In fact, you saw how Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi also organized a roadshow here. In this particular phase, also the opposition camp is trying to maximize the electoral gain. So in fact, today also Priyanka Gandhi would hold road shows in Mirzapur as well as Kushinagar. The opposition camp and the alliance camp of the SP, BSP and RLD will also hold several campaigns during the last day. And of course, as you said, that in Varanasi it's going to be the battle, the mother of all battles, but it is actually not considered as a battle, because remember, it has been the citadel of the BJP since 1999. In only 2004 the Congress could wrest it. So all eyes on this phase in Uttar Pradesh right now, and all political parties turning out and pulling out stops, leaving no stone unturned to woo the voters and maximize their electoral gains. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Indeed, that seat is of course going to be one of the most keenly watched. Let's now go across to our colleague Navikram, who's joining us from Indore. Navikram, speaking about Madhya Pradesh, of course, it is the last day of campaigning, and Prime Minister Modi is going to be in Khargone in Madhya Pradesh. So tell us, what is the election mood there on the last day of campaigning?
ऐश्वर्या, बिल्कुल ये जिस तरीके से प्रचार का आज आखिरी दिन है, ऐसे में सभी दल पूरी ताकत झोंक देना चाहते हैं। खासतौर पर ये पूरा इलाका है जहां पर मुख्य मुकाबला बीजेपी और कांग्रेस के बीच में होता रहा है। तो बीजेपी यहाँ जिस तरीके से बीजेपी ने पिछले विधानसभा चुनाव में हार हुई थी बीजेपी की, एक बार फिर बीजेपी की कोशिश है कि जो उसका वोट बैंक छिटका था, जो वोट बैंक में सेंध लगी थी, उसके लिए उस पर पूरा जोर लगाया जा सके, उसे एकजुट किया जा सके। इसके लिए बीजेपी के आला नेता यहाँ पर आ रहे हैं, साथ ही अन्य राज्यों से भी यहाँ पर टीम आ रही है। वहीं कांग्रेस की कोशिश है कि एक बार फिर जो जिस तरीके से विधानसभा चुनाव में उनका वोट शेयर बढ़ा था इस इलाके में, उस विधानसभा चुनाव को बरकरार रखा जाए। यहाँ पर जो लोकसभा चुनाव में भी वोट शेयर बढ़ाया जा सके, ताकि इस इलाके से ज़्यादा सीटें जीत सके, क्योंकि ये इलाका माना जाता है बीजेपी का गढ़ रहा है। बल्कि जनसंघ के जमाने से इस इलाके में कई सीटें बीजेपी जीतती आ रही है। लेकिन ये देखना दिलचस्प होगा कि क्योंकि केंद्र में बीजेपी सरकार है, राज्य में अभी हाल ही में बनी हुई कांग्रेस की सरकार है, दोनों की इस बार परीक्षा होगी 2019 के लोकसभा चुनाव में कि जो यहाँ से ज़्यादा सीटें जीतता है वो इस इलाके में अपनी बढ़त बनाएगा। जी ऐश्वर्या।
Absolutely, very interesting contest to be seen in Madhya Pradesh. And now let's go across to Ravindra Singh Shoran, who's joining us from Anandpur Sahib in Punjab. Ravindra, speaking about Anandpur Sahib, where you are at right now, Prem Singh of the Shiromani Akali Dal is the sitting MP here, but Congress has fielded Manish Tiwari. So tell us about the contest there.
Morning, Aishwarya. The contest here is quite interesting. Last time when Manish Tiwari was asked to contest election from Ludhiana, then he refused to contest. This time he is again coming here and he has been fielded here again, Anandpur Sahib, against the sitting member of parliament of Shiromani Akali Dal, Prem Singh Chandumajra. Prem Singh Chandumajra is considered here to be the local person, and also he is a farmers leader of this area, and he has been he was a voice of the farmers in the parliament. He has incessantly raised the issues of various issues of the farmers in the parliament. For the last 5 years, Manish Tiwari was not in the parliament and he did not contest the last election. So he's contesting an election after 10 long years. It's an interesting election this time. Congress party is completely banking upon the Punjab. In the last election also we have seen that in the Punjab, Congress party could manage to win majority of seats. They could manage to win majority of seats in the Punjab, all 13 seats of the different constituencies, and also 4 seats of Himachal Pradesh, which are also going for the polls. Both the political parties, they are trying to secure more and more number of seats this time.
Yes.
Especially the BJP, which has a government in the neighboring Himachal Pradesh. Last time they could manage to get all the 4 seats here. But in Punjab, they managed to get 2 seats. Shiromani Akali Dal, which has faced a defeat in the assembly elections 2 years back, but they are trying to revive their whole cadre base this time. And both the top stalwarts of the party, Harsimrat Kaur Badal and her husband, the president of the party, Sukhbir Singh Badal, they are contesting on 2 different seats. And through these 2 seats, they are trying to reconsolidate their base, which they have lost at the time of the elections in the assembly elections. And Sunny Deol, remember, Sunny Deol is contesting on the ticket of the BJP from Gurdaspur, and that is also one of the hot seats.
Indeed.
He is
So those are the hot seats from Punjab. What are the hot seats in Bihar? Let's go across to Akhilesh Suman, our colleague who is joining us from Patna. Akhilesh, you are in Patna Sahib, and in this, the 7th and the final phase, of course, this is one of the most keenly watched contests because it is both political bigwigs of both the parties, Shatrughan Sinha versus Ravi Shankar Prasad. Of course, Ravi Shankar Prasad is contesting a Lok Sabha election for the first time. So it is going to be very interesting what happens here.
Really, it is a very interesting situation here because you can say that this whole 8 constituencies are, NDA zone. And NDA zone I am telling because 4 of this constituency are represented by the union minister like Ravi Shankar Prasad, R.K. Sinha, Ashwini Chaubey, and other than that, Upendra Kushwaha is also here. Upendra Kushwaha was also union cabinet minister, but he left the NDA and he joined the Mahagathbandhan. So other than that, Nitish Kumar, whole life was here. Lalu Prasad life was here. Ravi Shankar Prasad life was here. Shatrughan Sinha's life was here. So they are players of these grounds, and they had been playing politically. They had been playing academically also in this whole area. And other than that, one of the most interesting thing that the last phase. This is the last phase, and in the last phase, something last impression is the lasting impression. So people are now going for the lasting impression, and that caste consolidation is taking place very heavily in this phase of election, because Misa Bharti is there, who had lost last time, even when she is fighting, she had fought from the Yadav bastion. So this time, whether she will get this seat back, it will be very interesting to see. And her contestant Ram Kepal Yadav, Union Minister, he also claims to be very active in the constituency across the caste line. He had been contacting people. So really, Ravi Shankar Prasad is for the first time fighting Lok Sabha election, and it will be interesting to see that how he is very enthusiastic indeed. I have met him many times, and I saw him very enthusiastic, like a mass leader. He is contacting every nook and corner, talking to the people, even chaiwalas. He is going and talking to the traditional chaiwala when he was there in Patna University.
That is what is the most important thing, reaching out to the common man and talking to them. Thank you so much. All our reporters joined us from the ground, Akhilesh Suman and Kriti Mishra, as well as Ravinder Singh Shoran and Navikram also joined us. Thank you, all of you, for joining us and giving us all the updates ahead of the 7th and the final phase of Lok Sabha elections. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has ordered repolling at some polling booths in Delhi, Kerala and Andhra Pradesh on Sunday. Repolling will take place at a booth in Chandni Chowk Parliamentary Constituency in Delhi. Speaking about Kerala, repolling will take place at 3 booths in Kalyaseri in Kasaragod constituency and a booth in Kannur in Kerala following reports of bogus voting. And repolling will also take place in 5 booths in Andhra Pradesh's Chandragiri Assembly constituency following a report submitted by the Andhra Pradesh Electoral Officer. News from Uttar Pradesh now, where Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has said that SP-BSP alliance is for the development of people. Speaking exclusively to Rajya Sabha television, he refuted BJP's allegations of Mahamilawat. Let's take a listen.
Former Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and SP Supremo, Mr. Akhilesh Yadav from Rajya Sabha television. 6 phases are over. What are the prospects of your party?
देखिए, गठबंधन जीत रहा है और जनता का और किसान गरीब का समर्थन है. सबसे ज्यादा सीटें गठबंधन उत्तर प्रदेश में जीतेगा.
बीजेपी कहती है कि महामिलावट है.
ये महामिलावट नहीं है, ये महापरिवर्तन के लिए सामाजिक न्याय का गठबंधन है.
और कहती है आपके पास तो कोई प्रधानमंत्री का चेहरा भी नहीं है. 7 दिन 7 अलग प्रधानमंत्री. बीजेपी के पास नया प्रधानमंत्री कोई नहीं है, और जो प्रधानमंत्री है वो नोटबंदी और जीएसटी के जवाब नहीं दे सकते हैं. हमारे पास चॉइस तो है, और 23 के बाद कोई न कोई नया प्रधानमंत्री बनेगा. चलिए, शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए.
The attack on the Election Commission by opposition parties is an advance alibi for defeat. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said this on Thursday in a blog titled "The Frightening and Scary Scenario of India's Opposition." Arun Jaitley wrote that the fractured opposition has no agreement on either a leader or a program. Terming the opposition parties as institution wreckers, Arun Jaitley said that their leaders represent temperamental mavericks, some highly corrupt, and many a governance disaster. Further, Arun Jaitley also asserted that as the 7th phase of election approaches to closure, the groundswell in favor of Prime Minister is becoming stronger. An Oxford dictionary has debunked Rahul Gandhi's claim that a new word, Modi, has been added to the dictionary. Congress chief Rahul Gandhi had on Wednesday claimed in a tweet that the word modily had been added to the dictionary to constantly modify the truth. In reply to Rahul Gandhi's tweet, Oxford Dictionary's official Twitter handle said that we can confirm that the image showing the entity moduli is fake and does not exist in any of our Oxford dictionaries. Rahul Gandhi's tweet about the addition of the word moduli became a major controversy. Rahul Gandhi reportedly tweeted the information twice. In his first tweet, he shared a screenshot of Oxford Living Dictionary but searches show no results on the site.